This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order, and the chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilman Harris is absent today. Councilman Williams.
Here.
Avery.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Councilman Stewart is also absent today. Councilman Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present. Our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Jeremy Ward to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father, today we just thank you for the grace that you put in our lives. We thank you for the freedom, the ability to govern. And Lord, I pray this morning for our leaders that you would just give them wisdom, Lord, that you would give them the ability to make decisions to glorify you and enhance our city. And God, we just praise you for who you are and what you've done for us. For the name we pray.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session in the City Council meeting on July the 8th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
And those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
Chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of the accounts for the week of July the 4th through the 10th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Mayor,
I don't have any.
you got any proclamations
No,
today?
sir.
This time, I'm going to recognize Sherry Doremus. I think I saw her come in. Yes, there she is. Who wants to make a special presentation?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like for Mayor, if you come around, please.
I want you to come around, Mayor.
Oh, okay. Good morning. We were so thankful that you came and addressed the Central Carver reunion, and you left before we got a chance to make our presentation to you. So this is a delayed presentation, but we do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you 2 years from now. And the
Can you
certificate
speak to the mic
says-
a little bit more? Yeah, thank you. Pull it
The
down
cer-
some, yeah.
Okay. The certificate says, "Thank you certificate, presented to the Honorable Mayor Sherman Dayton for addressing the former Central Carver alumni of Gadsden at their 10th reunion Get Reacquainted luncheon. 21 years remembering, rejoicing, dedicated to the Wildcat spirit. Presented this day, this first day of July 2014. Sherry Twyman Doremus, chairperson, Willie Sutton, co-chairperson." And we thought that while you were sitting up in the office, that you could look out, and you look out the window, we're presenting you with this is from the Easter Seal has these monuments. Yes. And so we did the one for the Memorial Bridge for you because you can look out the window and see it, so you can know what it's all about. It has the presentation for you, and it says presented to you by the Central Carver reunion. Okay?
I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. That was a really, really good weekend, and I had all the people here and really felt good about a lot of the people from out of town, hadn't been here in a while, and they were commenting about a lot of things looking different, which we're proud of. But, you know, I told them, some of them sort of laughed, but I did a little work when I was 15. I worked for a floor company, and we put down the gym floor, and I said, I looked at the part I did, and it's still there. And,
Yeah, but Mayor, that's the part that's buckle up, though.
No. But I appreciate this a lot. I really do. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Mr. President, I know they're not programmed, but we had some things to happen over the weekend for our City of Champions. We have some champions here with us this morning. And I'm going to ask if it's okay at this time for the coaches and the players from the Gadsden Stars basketball team, if they'll come forward so we can recognize them. They won a national championship this past week down in Orlando, Florida. So if you all please, basketball stars, coach, can y'all come on up? I mean, you know, this is tremendous. I thought that they were going to be playing teams from around, yeah, y'all just turn around so that people can see you at home on TV. I thought they were just going to be playing teams from here in this country, but they played teams from outside of this country. I didn't realize that. Coach Huff, if you don't mind, can you just tell us a little bit about what happened and who y'all play? I mean, how many teams were there and all that?
It was a total about 400-some teams there down in Orlando, Florida.
Wow.
6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade and 10th grade. We opened up the first game with Blue Storm, a team out of Florida. We played West Palm, Georgia, a team out of Memphis. And we went to the championship game and played a team out of Florida.
But there were teams from other countries that they were telling me?
Mexico, Puerto Rico, Russia, Memphis, Las Vegas, California.
Oh, so wow. Let's give them a hand, please. Thank you. And by the way, I understand that there's still some money, that you all didn't get enough money. So if there's anybody who still want to donate to this team, they'll take donations. I think they were like about $2,600 short. I think it was like a total of, what, $15,000 to take the team down. So please, ma'am, and please, sir, if you still want to donate to the team, you know, we'll accept donations, and I'm sure Coach Huff and the rest of them will accept donations. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Give some of those up and together. Open them all over.
We still got to get some light.
You want to buy some more? Oh, still got some.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, I'll make a note to check on it. I'm not sure what the minimum order would
Huh?
be. I'm not sure what the minimum order would
It's around two.
Mayor, I know
be. I'm thinking 250, I'm thinking 500.
I know the news media is trying to talk to him right now, but there's a lot of parents here, and we've got to recognize them too. If the parents would please stand up, I mean, because they've done a great job with these young people. That's what makes us the city of champions.
That's right.
Yeah.
You all right.
Okay, guys, y'all can go now. Andy Powell was trying to interview y'all coach in front of in our meeting.
Yeah.
That's okay, and we want you to interview him and get the information. I just got some money up here that was passed to me to go to the team, so if anybody else wants to, let's bring it up here and we'll give it to them. I think that particular councilman gave money the other day, so that's good.
Okay, unfinished business. We have none today. This is the time and place is advertised to conduct a public hearing.
Let's give him a second.
And allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 3013 Topeka Street in District 6. The last known owners, the state of Alabama and Ruth Freights. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? there anyone who wishes to speak in favor of it?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started this case involving a burned mobile home in April of last year. Been no improvements or no permits to improve. We're asking for a resolution today to abate this nuisance.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak in favor of it? Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Looks
Sir?
like this trailer's beyond rehab, Brian. Understatement.
That's it.
Is there any other? Clerk, you take the vote.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
10, our next public hearing is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisances on property located at 3021 Wilson Street in District 6. Christy L. Link being the last known owner. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution?
Mr. President, based on recent improvements to this property, we're asking for a 30-day table.
Is there anybody else?
Mr. President, I've been by this location on Wilson Street. They've made a bunch of improvements on it. I talked with the owner today, and I told her we'll give her 30 days, and as soon as she gets through with the outside, she's going to let us know, and we're going to go out there and look at it. But I make a motion, we give her a 30-day table, please.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
11 through 13, this is a time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing, allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of resolutions assessing nuisance abatement liens against property. This is for demolition that was already been performed, and we have 3 locations. I'm going to read the addresses and names, and anyone who wishes to speak about any of these may come forward. 3101 East Meagan Boulevard, 12,000, this is in District 1, $12,167.80. State of Alabama, Mad Have Lodging Corporation, Townhouse Motel Incorporated, and Cadence Bank as successor to the bank. 1405 Cancer Avenue in District 3, $3,916.20. State of Alabama, Barfield Investments, First Family Financial Services Incorporated, Marquetta K. Kinney, Jeff Walsh, and Bridget Smith, for the last known owners. Next is 1209 Cabot Avenue in District 7, $3,265.88, Ross Scott. Does anyone wish to speak in favor or opposition to any of these? Chair will entertain a motion to adopt a resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt all 3 resolutions, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt all 3.
14 is a resolution authorizing use of DS-200 electronic voting system. This authorizes the use of the new machines obtained by the Etowah County, which the city uses for its elections. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, these are the same machines that they're using for the state and county elections now. It's just a minor change in them, I think, but they basically operate about the same. I had an opportunity to vote on them, and it seemed to be pretty easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see that we're moving into the 21st century here in Etowah County with our voting machines.
20.
Oh,
20th century.
Oh, that's what we're moving into? Okay, all right, the 20th century, all right. We'll get to the 21st later. I'm sorry, I think.
That's okay.
Oh,
I was going to say, Phil, go ahead and furnish bifocals at the polls in case you forget yours. It'd be even better.
okay.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
New business, is there any new business?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. President, I have two items that I'd like to bring up on the new business. That we can do both of them for unanimous consent, and then we'll act on them individually. I have two resolutions. One is authorizing a one-time lump sum payment to retirees, and the other one is providing for a referendum on election concerning 7-day sales. I'd ask for unanimous consent for both.
Second. So moved.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to
Yeah.
consider both resolutions today as items of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Mr. President, the first resolution is authorizing a one-time lump sum payment to retirees of their beneficiaries.
$225,000.
Well, it's a total of $225,000 approximately. That's the estimated cost for the city. What this does, what happened, the state legislature passed this, I want to be careful how I word it, unfunded mandate option. Opportunity, okay, I got it then. Unfunded mandate opportunity. And what it does, it gives a one-time lump sum payment to our retirees, which I think all of us is very much in support of. It's just that when the legislature decided that they were going to go down to Montgomery, these good old guys, and all these, I don't know what word I want to use for them, they weren't going to do any new taxes. Well, they hadn't done any new taxes, but they passed it on to us. And of course, they put us on the spot to come up with these monies. And they do their fees, and they pass the fees on to you. But they're down in Montgomery saying, we ain't raising no new taxes, folks, which is a bunch of bull. But at any rate, this is what this is, and so hopefully, I think it's a minimum of $300 for retirees. I think that's the way it reads.
I think that's the maximum.
That's the maximum?
No.
That's the minimum.
Minimum, yeah,
That's the
okay.
minimum,
Yeah,
yeah. I thought I
okay.
was reading it right.
Yeah.
That's the minimum. But, you know, I have been one of the council members over the years, have fought for retirees and city employees' benefits. Mr. Eccles and I have been at odds a lot about that. And Mr. Eccles finally got me to see the light a few days ago. You know, we just couldn't keep up the pace that we were doing because the city was going to go broke. But this is a great opportunity for us to make up a little bit of that, Mr. Eccles, and I hope you see the light and help me on this, and I think you will, so we really appreciate your support on this, too.
Thank you.
All right.
Can I say?
Yes, sir.
We've been working we found out about this a month or so ago, but pre-budget numbers, and, you know, we're in good shape, a long way from 8 years ago and $80 million and no money in the bank. But we've given 7 raises in 8 years to the active employees, and we've given a few raises to the retirees, but we're glad to do it, and we can afford to, and so it's good that we're going to do this. Appreciate it.
And I appreciate the administration coming up with the funding, so that's call for the vote, unless somebody else had something. No, okay.
Any other? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the I'm sorry, I didn't have my mic on. Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Abstained.
we have 2 abstentions, and we have 3 yes votes, so the resolution stands adopted.
And I think, Johnny, we should explain,
yeah.
I'm very much for the retiree, of course, and everybody knows that. Just so happens my wife is retired under the RSA, and I was unable to, I wonder if I get part of that.
I talked to her, she said no.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we go back and vote on that again?
We told her what day the mail runs, so you're out.
I'm watching for that check.
I'm too, as like Ben said, I am a recipient of the RSA. I have retired from the city of Gadsden. I cannot, by state law, lobby for this money, and I cannot vote by state law on this we voted on today. That's why I abstained, but I've always been for the city retirees. I've never been against them. But the state law says I can't vote again, I can't vote for it, and I can't lobby for it, and that's what I've done. I've did nothing to this effect.
Okay. All right, Mr. President, the next resolution that I have we got unanimous consent to consider was providing for a referendum election concerning 7-day sales of alcoholic beverages. As you know, again, those good old boys down in Montgomery, through the, I want to be nice again, the prodding and the pushing and putting them on the spot, because we had all of those great patriots down there who went overseas and fought to give the people in Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan and all them other countries. They gave them the right to vote. They went down there and fought for that. But we had several of our local delegation members who said, well, I don't know if I want to give you guys, the city of Gadsden, the right to vote. And I thought there was something wrong with that picture. So we had to prod and push, but finally, at the 7th hour, because there was only 8 hours in their working day down there. They don't do 24 hours or 12 hours. They just do a few hours. They finally decided that after we kept putting them on the spot, that they would give us this opportunity. So this is basically what it is. It's an opportunity for us to vote on the 7-day sales. Let me just read what the question would be. It would be on the ballot that's coming up on August the 26th for the city elections. And it plainly says that, do you favor the legal sales and distribution of alcoholic beverage for on and off-premises consumption within the corporate limits of the city of Gadsden 7 days a week? And it's to a yes or no vote. We're going to be giving out a little bit more information about what effects this have, but right now we're giving the people in this city an opportunity to vote as to whether or not they want 7-day sales. And like I said, it's been a hard-fought situation, particularly for this council up here. This council have gone on record to support 7-day sales voting, and we had to fight those guys in Montgomery tooth and nail. And I want people to understand that. You heard it here today, but we're going to connect some dots here later about those folks in Montgomery who didn't want to give you the opportunity to do 7-day sales. I'm through. Did I get off my soapbox? Okay. Do we have
Anybody else?
Yeah, move for passage, yeah.
Oh, no, we actually need a motion.
Yeah, I just said I move for passage.
Okay.
Second.
I don't need to discuss. I don't.
Okay. No need for discussion. I think we've had plenty of discussion. You take the vote.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
I don't have anything else.
Mr. President, I have one, please. It's a resolution authorizing agreement with Jones, Blair, Waldrop, and Tucker for design services for the Hickory Street Bridge replacement project. I'd ask for unanimous consent, please.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
On discussion, what this is all about is
Make
we're
a
going...
motion.
I'm going
Make a motion to approve.
I'm making a motion to approve, please.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, what this is we're going to get, Jonesboro, Waldrop, Tucker's going to do the design service for the Hickory Street Bridge, as I spoke about. We're going to try to get this, we're going to get this bridge done before we do start on the South 11th Street Bridge, where you'll have access to the new school and Dewana Park and South Gadsden and all that right in there. As everybody knows, the bridge on Hickory Street's been closed for a while. We're going to try to speed this project up and get this bridge finished before we work on any other bridges.
Yeah, because I had several calls, and I'm not sure, I think the MPO people must have said something about it at the meeting, and it came out in the paper that they were getting ready to close South 11th Street to work on the pipe. And I think, Mayor, you got some calls too, did you not?
Yeah. You know, we're not going to close South 11th and that street at the same time. That's why we're pushing this. And it wasn't the city that closed it. It was up the ladder, the way the floodway changed there. And then when they did that, you have to get the engineering and, you know, it goes as far as if we got some bats in a tree to do some things. So there's a lot of red tape to go through, but we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible.
I think the bridge had also shifted on Hickory Street too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any other new business? Department reports, committees, boards, are there any? Remarks by the mayor and the council. Mayor, you want to start?
I just want to congratulate the basketball guys again. Proud of them for what they did. I knew they were up here and sort of in a bind. Try to help them out some, and that's something to be proud of. I used to coach basketball for quite a while and played until I was 48. That's why I got a stainless steel hip. But it's a great game. It's a lot of teamwork, and it's a fun game. It's the only sport I know of where you practice is sort of like a game. You don't get knocked around like you do in football. I should have stayed out of that, but we're glad to have you here, and you're glad you represent us down in Orlando. Sure are.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to echo that sentiment. We're very proud of those young men, and I recognize a lot of them from the school system and from our church. I mean, we're very proud of them, and that's something we were discussing as they were standing there. That is a rarity. I think we may have logged maybe 2, maybe 3 national champions in the city over the years. So that's impressive. So we're very proud of them. I do want to recognize my pastor and apostle, Maurice Wright, who's here today. He's a very busy man, doesn't get an opportunity to come out to the council meeting that often, but it always does me good to see him come out and support me. So I do appreciate that and want to recognize me. Not only is he just the leader at church, but he's my spiritual father as well, and I appreciate him for that. So thank you for being here. As many of you know, there was a meeting last night. And I had the honor of not attending that meeting last night. It was a joint session between the council and the school board. And in all seriousness, I do want to say that I think that the meeting ultimately, when you talk to those who attended it, was ultimately meaningful and productive to some degree. It gave opportunity for some good dialogue, and that's always good. But let me point out a couple things. As it relates to diversity, and I think that seemed to be the centerpiece topic on last night. Diversity is an issue that requires that you be very deliberate about it. And I want to repeat that. Diversity requires that you be very deliberate about it. You can't expect it to happen just by happenstance. Because by nature, we're going to be drawn to those people that we're comfortable being around. And I own a business, and I can tell you that if you look at the contractors that I utilize, the vast majority of those folks, left unchecked, are going to look a lot like me, and they're going to have my interest. So again, you have to be deliberate about being diverse, otherwise it's not going to happen. So I want to challenge those who have cited a plan to formalize that plan. Be deliberate about it. And by formalizing, what I'm referencing is establishing relationships with post-secondary institutions who can provide minority talent, professional associations who can provide links to minority talent. And also, and I think this is one that we really miss in the public sector, but I think it's important from a talent management standpoint that we develop succession planning. Succession planning allows us to be very deliberate about putting minority and female candidates in the pipeline for succession into the top tier leadership positions. If you're not deliberate about it, it's not going to happen, folks. And we can talk about it all day long, but you've got to be deliberate. So when I hear anybody in a leadership capacity reference a plan, I'd like to see that plan formalized. Take it seriously. Take it seriously. And take the interest of females and minorities seriously. That's all I have.
Robert?
Thank you, Mr. President. It was an interesting meeting. And like Councilman Williams said, we put a lot on the table last night in the regular meeting and also in the executive session. My only concern is our children. And right now, I don't think our children are getting a very fair deal in a number of areas. I don't think we're putting the emphasis on education like I think it should be. And I repeat, like I think it should be. I've been to a number of schools, a number of places around this country, and I've seen where education work. And I've seen what it takes to make education work, and we're not doing it here. I didn't realize until the young lady from Atlanta brought it to our attention that we had a floating librarian in our elementary schools. I mean, that's the most important time of our young people's life as far as reading and learning and comprehending. And they don't have access to the library but a half a day. I find it unacceptable, particularly when we can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the back end for coaches and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big sports fanatic too. But I think that money could be better spent on hiring a librarian. I found out that a number of our schools coming up this year is going to have, in the elementary, first or second grade, they're going to have anywhere between 25 and 30 students in the class. That's unacceptable. They're going to have one, and I think he said they were going to address that, but they're going to have maybe one volunteer or what they call aide that's going to float between grades. It's unacceptable when you're spending $100,000 to pay a football coach. My concern is about our kids. I don't care what they said and what they told you and what you heard out in the streets. Yesterday, my focus was on our children and them getting a better education. And until we do that, I'm going to stay on my soapbox about our school system. And you can label it any kind of way you want to. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to talk about last night. We had a tremendous amount of rain came down at one time here in Gadsden. I want to thank the police department, the fire department, and Public Works that was out there trying to help get the people that were stranded out. What our problem was, we had all that rain come down at one time, and actually 2 or 3 times we had tremendous rain. And we had a bunch of flooding in the city. Some of it was on Hood Avenue over that way, over close to Hobby Lobby over in there. That's the state highway. The state's in charge of that right there. We had flooding over there. We had flooding on South 11th Street. What happened, the pipes we have would not hold all the water that was coming down at one time. We was trying to do the very best we could, and they was out there last night, and I just want to say I appreciate all those guys who was out there in that rain and trying to do the very best they could to get those pipes unstopped and see if we couldn't get some water flowing a little better. This Saturday, we will have it. We're at Reagan Park in Alabama City. We'll have music on Miggin. There'll be Damascus Road will be one of them that will be playing, and there's some lady, I can't think of her name, it's just off the top of my tongue, and I missed it. She'll be there singing also. They're both really good. There'll be free hot dogs while they last. It starts at 6 o'clock and ends till 10. We always run out of food, so make sure you bring your lawn chairs and come early. Enjoy all the music that'll be there. Also, too, on July the 29th, we'll have a District 6 meeting at Banks Park. It will be a homemade ice cream social. So if you want to come out to that, everyone's welcome. Just come out and enjoy all the homemade ice cream you want, as long as it lasts that night. And that starts at 5:30. That's all I got, Mr. President.
Mr. Cannon, if you would support me on bagging leaves and clippings, we won't have all this flooding, you know.
Well, that
because all that stuff just backed up, and when all that water came down yesterday, it just pushed it all down.
Actually, that wasn't the problem. All the rain just came at one time.
I say, yeah, but it pushed all that other stuff down.
I do have something else to say while we're on this. I've got some pictures I need to pass out to y'all. Eddie Nichols had a group of kids last week from Tuscaloosa and all around here in Gadsden, Hoax Bluff, I think from Asheville. They went down to the Old Boys Club in Alabama City.
Yeah.
It was about to fall down. There was weeds growing, trees growing everywhere. The grass needed to be cut. The building needed to be painting inside and out. I think they spent a couple $1,000s down there trying to, Ben hadn't seen it.
I think Ben
Trying
had.
to
Okay.
spruce that place up a little bit, and they did a tremendous job last week in doing that. And I hope the city will see fit to go ahead and buy that building so we can turn it over so the youth and the children in Alabama City and South Gadsden, Walnut Park, and the whole Gadsden will be able to enjoy that.
Dre Kirkpatrick
Dre Kirkpatrick,
group
yes,
is going to be working with that?
he's going to be working with it. He's going to be one of the major sponsors. They've already got some letters and stuff from him where he's going to be helping with all that right there. Eddie Nichols and Breakaway Ministries is excited about being down there. The kids are a bit excited about coming. I go through the neighborhood, and all the kids in the neighborhood's talking about it right now, that they'll have a place to go down there and play their basketball and, and get ministered to and just have a great time fellowshipping with other kids. It'll be it's right across the street from Floyd Elementary School, and right over there close to Emma Sanson Middle, so those kids can come over in the afternoon and have a place to go, and somebody will be there trying to take care of them. Now, let's hope we see fit in the next few weeks to go ahead and buy that building. That's all I got.
Ben?
Yeah, I think Chief, I did want to thank you and the police department. Presence of the police officers is becoming more prevalent, and especially my district, as far as I know, in all the other districts. But I did want to thank y'all for the work that y'all are doing right now. Seriously, that's all I have.
Bob, could I say one thing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. One thing.
I want to talk just for a second. I'm not technology. I don't look at Facebook and do computer stuff. Somebody has to tell me what to do, but get a lot of things. There's a lot of election time, a lot of rumors going around. There's always some, but I want to let you know, especially on the school and education, the council and the mayor's office is totally behind the school system here. And if you don't believe it, you can find the figures where we've put in a little over $13 million in the last 8 years, and that's because we had money to do that. But we're 100%. They have iPads in most all the elementary schools, whiteboards, teachers. I mean, there's just a lot of things that we fund, and we're glad to, and we just want it to be the best like everything else that we work on that can be around.
Mayor, can I add one more thing to this? And I mean, I've been looking at Facebook here lately, and I've been seeing all the stuff they've been saying about everybody up here and everything. If you're going to talk about me, I don't care if you talk about me on Facebook. If you're going to talk about me on Facebook, please spell my name right. They spelled it Johnny. It's Johnny. That's all I got. You can talk about me all you want to on Facebook. Just spell my name right.
Wait a minute, Johnny. You mean they've been talking about you, they don't spell your name right?
Yeah, they didn't spell my name right.
That bad.
All the signs out in the city of Gadsden in order to be able to spell my name right.
I always make sure they spell mine right.
That's all I asked, is spell my name right.
I thought Billy Harris was back in here.
I'd take his time today, a little bit of it.
I'm going to tell him you took his place.
Mr. President, I
The
do,
council does, I know what she's doing.
okay.
Okay.
You want to do this. The council, most of the discretionary money that we get goes to the schools one way or the other. And, but money doesn't do what we need done. People is what we need. We need the parents to be more involved in every school. Litchfield is really looking good. There's been a lot of improvement over there. Is it Mr. Ramos that's over there? She's done a great job with getting the parents involved. And that's what we need everywhere. They always need money, but the big thing is the parents. And Ura Brown is a good example of that. My daughter happens to be the librarian down there. She does the book fairs. It's amazing the money she gets. And the guy that was delivering the books one day wanted to know if she bought the books for the whole system. And that shows you what parents can do if they're willing now, and they realize that that area is probably has the most wealth of any of the districts. But the fact that you come to the PTA or PTO meetings and you participate and you spend some time with your child at home, it makes a great difference. And that's what we need.
Bob, can I say this one short thing? The mothers and the daddies are going to have to step up, period. Because everybody in here knows that we're running out of grandmothers and granddaddies. And they're the ones that carried the ball the last 25 or 30 years. And that's a fact, because I've been there and I know. Okay? I just want to interject that.
Speak for yourself, I ain't going nowhere. You plan on leaving?
Kiss off, Avery.
No, hope, no, come on.
Go ahead, Ivan.
Councilman Harris was not able to be here today, and he asked me to announce a district meeting on his behalf. There will be a District 1 meeting, and it will be Monday, July the 21st at 6 p.m. at the East Gadsden Community Center. That's Monday, July the 21st at 6 p.m.
I forgot my district meeting will be this Thursday at 5 p.m. at Carver. I almost forgot that, I'm glad. But it'll be Thursday at 5 o'clock at the Carver Community Center.
I'll entertain a motion with adjourn.
So moved.
This meeting is adjourned.